A stranded woman with a baby knocked on his truck. Hours later he discovered who she really was. The storm had rolled in faster than anyone expected. Thick sheets of icy rain crashed against the highway, turning the world into a blur of gray. Jake Lawson, a long-haul trucker with 15 years on the road, tightened his grip on the steering wheel of his 18-wheeler. He had pulled over near an abandoned rest stop to wait out the worst of the storm. It was nearly midnight. Wind howled through the trees, making the truck sway gently. Jake reached for his thermos when suddenly, bang! 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 Someone knocked on the cab door. He froze. Out here, miles from the nearest town, no one should be wandering around in a storm like this. Jake leaned toward the window and saw a shadowy figure drenched in rain, holding something close to her chest. He unlocked the door and pushed it open. A young woman, soaked to the skin, shivered violently as she looked up at him. In her arms was a tiny baby wrapped in a thin blanket, crying softly. Please, please help us, she whispered, voice trembling. Our car broke down, the phone died. I didn't know where else to go. Jake didn't hesitate. Get in. She climbed inside, clutching the baby tightly. Water dripped from her hair onto the rubber floor mat. Jake turned up the heater. Easy now. You're safe, he said gently. I'm Jake. What's your name? She hesitated, just for a moment. My name is Anna. Jake knew she wasn't telling the full truth. Her eyes darted around nervously, her breath sharp and uneven. But the baby's cries reminded him that whatever her story was, she needed help. He handed her a towel from his storage drawer. Here. Wrap the little one in this. She murmured a thank you and dried the baby's face. The child, barely 6 months old, quieted down, staring at Jake with wide, curious eyes. Cute kid, Jake said. Anna nodded but didn't smile. Outside, the storm intensified, hammering violently against the metal exterior. Jake sighed. Looks like we're stuck until morning. Anna pulled the baby closer and whispered, thank God. Her relief seemed heavy. Like she had been running from more than just a broken car. Jake didn't ask. Years on the road had taught him one thing: people talk when they're ready. Hours passed. The heater hummed. The storm roared. The baby slept. Jake offered her half his sandwich, and she devoured it like she hadn't eaten all day. You look exhausted, he said. I haven't slept properly in days. Jake nodded slowly. Someone after you? Anna stiffened. Her fingers tightened around the baby. I can't talk about that. Jake held up his hands. Fair enough. Silence filled the truck, until flashing lights appeared in the distance. Red and blue. Police cruisers patrolling the highway. Anna gasped and ducked her head, trembling. Please. Don't let them see me. Jake's eyebrows raised. Anna, what's going on? Tears gathered in her eyes. I'm not a criminal. I swear. But if they find us, they'll take my baby away. Her voice cracked with fear. Jake's instinct screamed at him to demand answers, but something in her voice, raw, desperate, told him she was telling the truth. The police cars passed without noticing the truck. Anna finally broke. My real name is Emily Hart. Jake frowned. He knew that name. Everyone did. Emily Hart, the missing billionaire heiress. She had vanished 3 months ago. Newspapers and news channels had been screaming about it non-stop. Jake stared. You're that Emily? Her eyes filled with tears. Yes. Jake exhaled slowly. He hadn't expected that. Emily took a shaking breath. My father ran Hart Industries, but when he died, everything changed. My uncle took over. He wanted full control of the company and the inheritance. When he found out I was pregnant, he tried to force me to sign everything over to him. I refused. Jake felt anger burn through him. He threatened to take my baby away, she continued. So I ran. I've been hiding ever since. Jake rubbed his jaw. And those cops? He owns them, she whispered. If they find me, they'll hand me over. Jake shook his head in disbelief. A billionaire heiress with a baby, running for her life, knocking on his truck in a storm? It sounded like a movie. But the terror in her eyes was real. What's your plan? Jake asked. Emily looked down at her sleeping baby. Just survive. I need to get to my father's lawyer in Denver. He's the only one I trust. Jake checked the map mentally. Denver was hours away, and the roads would still be dangerous by morning. That he made a decision. I'll take you. Emily's head snapped up. What? I'll drive you to Denver. No one's going to find you out here. And no one checks a trucker's cab unless they have a warrant. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Jake, you don't even know me. I don't need to. You're a mother with a baby. That's enough. Emily covered her mouth, trying to contain ASOB.by dawn. The storm had calmed. Jake started the engine, and the truck rumbled to life. Emily watched him with gratitude shining in her eyes. Hours later, as sunlight cut through the clouds, Jake found a small diner on the outskirts of a quiet town. He pulled over to refuel and rest. Inside the diner, Emily fed the baby while Jake ordered breakfast. She looked healthier already, still tired, but hopeful. While eating, Jake noticed a news broadcast on the television. A picture of Emily flashed across the screen. Missing heiress. New reward offered. Her uncle appeared on the screen, pretending to be a worried guardian. Emily looked away, trembling with anger. He's lying to everyone. Jake placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. He won't win. Just then, a man walked into the diner, tall, sharp-eyed, wearing a black coat. He scanned the room with practiced precision. Emily froze. That's one of my uncle's men. Jake reacted quickly. Follow me. Now. He guided her out the back exit. They rushed into the truck just as the man stepped outside, looking around suspiciously. Jake slammed the door and started the engine. Hold on. The truck roared onto the highway. Emily held her baby protectively, tears streaming, whispering, "Thank you, thank you." Jake glanced at her. We're not stopping till Denver. The chase continued for hours, but Jake stayed ahead, taking hidden routes only truckers knew. By evening, they reached a quiet neighborhood in Denver and parked outside a large brick house. A man in his 60s opened the door, a lawyer Emily trusted. When he saw her, his eyes widened. Emily. Thank God. Emily cried and hugged him. Jake stepped back, relieved. You did the right thing, the lawyer told Jake. Because of you, she and her baby are safe. Her uncle won't get away with this. Emily turned to Jake, eyes full of unspoken emotion. I'll never forget what you did. You saved us. Jake smiled softly. Just glad I was there when you knocked. As he walked back to his truck, the sun was setting behind him, warm and golden. He started the engine and drove off into the horizon. Another road, another day, but in his heart, he carried the memory of the stranded woman with a baby, and the night he discovered who she truly was.